Well, hello, my beautiful people, and welcome to the most wonderful time of the year. No, it's not Christmas Day, although it might as well be for people that play franchise mode because Mosey, I'll adhere to that request about an Oilers jersey shortly. Because today is good news. Dang it, it's great news. It's been long overdue news, if I gotta be honest. Come on now, man. It shouldn't have taken this long. Snipe and Score, beautiful friend of this channel, has finally, and I'm only giving him a hard time because he's right there in Twitch chat, has finally released his 2009-2010 flashback roster, which a lot of you know I've been waiting for a very long time. And what we are going to do is, first and foremost, say thank you to Mills for 64 months on the primer. We are not only going to take a look at this roster, we're, of course, going to be starting up a franchise mode. More on that in a little bit, because first things first, I think there's going to be a lot to look at with this particular roster. Again, worth noting, it is only available on the Xbox side of things. It is not a thing for PlayStation, because we still don't have cross-platform sharing, because why would we? I didn't even check to see how many downloads you had on this yet, Snipe, so obviously you put it out today. I might have already gone right past it. I just figured I'd go towards the back of the list. Oh, you gotta scroll down too? Jesus. Jesus. I'm doing commentary over a Sharks Wings game. What, on Snipe's roster now? Sick. Shout out to Hulk, by the way. 43 months feels almost as long as... That's fair. You said it, not me. Can't yell at me. I didn't say it. Where the hell even is this roster? You think you have things planned out, and then you don't. It's got to be on the first page already, right? Or what? Otherwise, what are people doing? I mean, I suppose I could just sort for Snipe's name, but that seems too easy, doesn't it? That seems too easy. I am so lazy, and this is taking so much longer than it should because of said laziness. Where the hell is this roster? How is it not the #1 download yet? There it is. There it is. Beautiful. Absolutely downloading this as we must. And remember, you do the good things after you download a file. You don't go to share your files, because that's the wrong place to go. You go to My Downloads instead, and you make sure, I don't like thumbsing up rosters I'm involved with, but you make sure to thumbs up all the things, especially this one, as you should. Nick, I also missed that 46 months. The David Krejci amount of months. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Nick, how are you, by the way? Love to see it. Hulk, about 2.5 weeks, I think. All right, Snipe, I am excited to see what you have cooked up for this nonsense. Again, it is a beautiful time. A sweet, beautiful time. Now, the reason why, of course, this always takes Snipe so long is, as you can see by that teeny tiny Lindsey Graham-sized bar, if you catch my drift. A little teeny tiny bar. That means he had to make a hell of a lot of people. That's what that means. I.e., he had to make everybody. Every player that was there at the time, future prospects. Snipe says it probably takes a solid 3 minutes to scroll the whole thing. So there you go. So I'm certainly not going to do that, because we'll get a look at players later on. But again, whether or not it's a 14-year-old Sasha Barkov or a defenseman like Andre Benoit, they are there, as beautiful as that is. And of course, there's the recreation as well of all of the teams, both NHL and AHL. Shout out to the Albany River Rats. You know what? Let's start off there before I take a look at the rosters and kind of give my thoughts on that. I need to know how you were able to do for recreation. Now, of course, if you have the real teams, you do still get those particular players. So if you want to use, like, you know, the actual Penguins roster, like, you're good to go. But there are some benefits to using the custom roster, as there's been in years prior, a lot of it having to do with like prospects and stuff like that, if I'm not mistaken. So But let's take a look here. The Abbotsford Heat. Let's see what the... Yep, that sure was an Abbotsford. I mean, in fairness, it was the Flame style. I have a jersey for you to rate. You picked a great day for that, but I'm not opposed to it. Recreation jerseys are just for AHL and then Atlanta and the Coyotes. Okay. Fair enough. What'd you come up with for Adirondack? That's fair. That's fair. Again, I'm not expecting anything too crazy, but it is nice to see what you were able to come up with. Let's see. It sucks. We still don't have the perfect away jersey recreation option. But not bad for the Thrashers. I like it. Let's see. Binghamton. That's an interesting logo to use for Binghamton. That's a good call. Oh, remember when they were the Sound Tigers? They should still be the Sound Tigers because there isn't a fucking Islander. The Olympic roster for Canada. Of course, we just passed the 15-year anniversary of Crosby's golden goal. Good stuff there. Chicago. Yeah, most of these are going to make sense. That's fair. It's interesting how many teams, like the Grand Rapids Griffins have changed looks since, but a lot of teams haven't. The Hamilton Bulldogs have PK Subban. We'll look at him more a little bit later. Let's see, Harvard Wolfpack. Snipe, given the limitations, at least there are a lot of logos, like the custom provided logos, that are close enough. It's not bad, all things considered. It's not bad. The Iowa Chops. I hate that the Iowa Chops weren't around for that long. Shout out to Warrior for the gifted sub to hold top hat. Ooh. Taste the goodness of the biscuit. Good choice for Lake Erie as well. I like it. I like it. Let's see. Manchester. Oh, I miss the Manchester Monarchs, to be honest. The Manitoba Moose. Not quite a moose, but it works. It works. I have an Iowa Chops t-shirt. I'm jealous, to be honest. The Massachusetts Devils, because there's no Lowell option. Milwaukee. Again. No, Snipe, you did a good job with these. I like it. I like it. Made the most of some EA-provided limitations, You did well with these. What a great choice for the Phoenix Coyotes, though. I like it. Ooh, that's the Davy Crockett. Snipe. Big brain on Snipe. I like it. The Davy Crockett logo, but you just blank out the humans, so it's nothing but the hat. Snipe and score. You creative son of a gun. I like it. Oh, baby. Okay, he used the ship. That's fair. That's fair. There's not much of a better option, And only because, my boys are, they're right here. I miss them so much. Not that I don't like the Maine Mariners, but god damn it. Portland Pirates was S tier. S tier branding. Wish it was an actual pirate logo. It's kind of surprising that there isn't, Providence. Yeah, Snipe, though. Again, you did a good job with these. You did. How do they not have a pirate logo? That's a really good question. That is a really, really good question. Oh, Rockford. Yeah, no, again. No, Snipe, you did well. I was waiting to see if there was one team where it's like, man, you just had no choice, huh? But no, these all look really good, given the circumstances. Solid effort. Syracuse Crunch. Yeah, that's close too, based on the Syracuse logo at the time, before they added more orange. Texas. Okay, that makes sense. This was the era of them having the Dallas and Stars, like word mark and stuff like that, right? So that makes sense too. Taste the biscuit. Marlies. It's a Leafs jersey. Sorry, that contract's pretty rough. So, the U.S. Men's Olympic roster from 2010. Bunch of losers. Wilkes-Barre, Scranton. Yeah. Oh, again, Snipe, really, really solid job here. You got the Worcester Shacks. Ooh, a certain someone's going to be on Worcester, by the way, for those that know. Okay, so Snipe, this year you were saying you only had to recreate AHL teams. And you mentioned, so I was immediately wrong, that you mentioned NHL teams are just good to be the NHL teams this year. So obviously a team like Seattle or Vegas, they're not going to have anybody on them. But that way, too, you can pretty much go to any team's 06-07 jerseys or even the 13-14, and they're still pretty much accurate. They have most of the jerseys in the game. Fair. That's pretty cool, though, honestly. That saves a little bit of time. Well, cool. Let's go take a look at the rosters. The other big thing that I know Snipe mentioned was that he used, now, opinions on AI aside, he did use ChatGPT to decide player types and overalls. So this could end up being a little bit wonky, or it could end up being pretty good. We'll see. So we start off with the Ducks, Jonas Hiller, and Curtis McElhaney. Of course, the switching is still really, really slow. So Snipe, you were able to use it for every single one of these, right? Which is really interesting to me. Just to see if, like, a Ducks fan is going to be like, Jonas Hiller was one of the best passers of the puck. I'm intrigued. Warrior coming in with the old 5 gifted. Thank you for that, my man. Thank you very much for that. Hey, Johnny, what's going on? How to say your name?
Taste the biscuit.
I know, the U really screws it up. ChatGPT for all attributes. That's weird, man.
Taste the biscuit.
He did get dialed in, though, which makes sense. You know, once he gets hot, he gets hot. That's fair. Defense, Scott Niedermayer. I mean, that's fair. High elite Scott Niedermayer. You said, were the potentials decided in that way too, Snipe? Or was it just like whatever their peak was as a player? Warrior, thank you again for the 5 gift, by the way. Very, very much appreciated, as always. Let's see, Lubomir Vishnofsky, Seeing Eye and Tape to Tape. Okay, ooh, that contract. Interesting. I did some minor adjustments, though. Okay, that's fair. Let's see, James Wisniewski, Steve Eminger. It takes so long to scroll through these now. I don't know what the hell they broke with this game, but Jesus Christ. I got Aaron Ward, Sheldon Brookbank, Brett Festerling, and Brendan Mickelson. Okay. That's not too bad for the Ducks defense, to be honest. I mean, you know, Niedermayer, definitely a legitimate top pair guy. Vishnofsky at the time was really pushing in that direction. Wisniewski was solid. That's not too bad. Right wing side, Teemu Solane at a 90 overall at age 39. Fair enough. All the shooting attributes, born leader. Totally fair. Honestly, like, in terms of the ratings, it doesn't look that bad. He might not have been that good of a skater at that point, but his defense is down, his physicality isn't that great, and he still has a 90, so that's not too bad. A young Corey Perry, bouncer, crease crasher, no contact. I mean, that makes sense too. That's fair. Bobby Ryan, before he spent too much time on social media. Ankle breaker, snappy, that's fair. God damn, this right wing side is stacked, by the way. Joffrey Lupul. Sheesh. Got Dan Sexton. Is that Mike Brown? It is Mike Brown. And then George Peros, of course, who sucks at his job. Is this the time that Mike Brown had his sick-ass handlebar mustache? Let's find out. Apparently not. That's okay. That's okay. I'm sure Peros had his, but fuck him. Leafs legend Jason Blake. Got Matt Bolesky. Bruins legend Matt Bolesky. And then centers Ryan Getzlaff. Third eye, born leader, tape to tape, truculence. Okay. Saku Koivu. With quick draw, tape to tape. Also makes sense. Todd Marchand and Kyle Chipchura. Honestly, like, so first glance for me, first team, first glance, the ratings actually aren't that bad. It's really not that bad. How'd they not see the glitches, though? So it confuses me. I have no idea, man. I don't know. in regards to certain questions like that about like, hey, this team, or like, how does this happen? Do they not play? I don't know. I just don't know at this stage. I really don't. Yeah, no, Ducks, not that bad. The Boston Bruins, few short months away from getting reverse swept by the Philadelphia Flyers, but Tim Thomas, dialed in adventurer, post to post world, okay, and then Tokarask. Similar abilities, also had Really? Also had X-ray, huh? Marsteller, it'll happen. But again, I've been waiting for this for a long time. So, see, defense for the Bruins, Big Z, Thunderclap, Born Leader. Yeah, all that's good. All of that is good. Dennis Weidman before he assaulted an official. X-ray I personally gave to taller goalies. So you defined Rask at 6'3" as taller. It makes sense, I suppose. Maybe in comparison because there were still some shorter-ish goalies at the time. I don't know. In my head, I feel like just more modern times we've used like X-ray for like 6'5" and up, but that's fair too. I'm not complaining. Yeah, Warrior, sure. Let's go with that. I hope you feel better, by the way. I saw what you mentioned earlier. Let's see, Dennis Seidenberg. He better have some body checking. That's good. You got Johnny Boychuk. He better have some slap shot power. Thank you. 91. Love to see that. Andrew Ferentz at an 82. Matt Hunwick, and then Mark. Wow. So, yeah, this was before they traded Mark Stewart and Blake Wheeler for Rich Peverly and company from the Thrashers. Damn. So, there you go, Top Hat. I don't have much of a response to that. See, right wing side, Mark Recchi. Blake Wheeler, of course, still there. Big rig tape to tape. Okay. Got Michael Ryder, Bruins legend, not Habs legend, Michael Ryder. And Sean Thornton. Okay. Let's see, Miroslav Shatan. God, that's right. Miroslav Shatan was on the team that year. You got Milan Lucic, back at you, bouncer, truculence, yeah. Marco Sturm, and Dan Paille. God, memories of this team, man. And at center, Patrice Bergeron, full house of abilities. You love to see that. They're almost all defensive as well. Max Savard. Ooh, here's the question. Mark Savard's durability. 36. It's fair. That is fair. We mentioned him earlier, David Krejci. Silver tape to tape. I like it. Vladimir Sobotka, Blues legend. And Steve Bajan. God, what a team. What a team that would choke in the playoffs. Damn. What's Lucic's fighting rating? 80? Which, you know. I don't necessarily disagree with that. I think it could have been boosted up, but like for the time, like he was still a young player getting into the league. Buffalo with Ryan Miller. Very similar abilities to the likes of Tim Thomas. I like that he has adventurers, so he can get run over by Milan Lucic. You have Patrick Lalime as the backup. Okay. Defense, 19-year-old Tyler Myers. Listed at 6'8". Okay. Henrik Tallinder, Tony Ludman, Craig Arrive, Steve Monador, RIP, Andre Sakara, and Chris Butler. That's a defense, all right. That's a defense. Right wing side, Jason Pominville. Yeah, I don't totally disagree with those abilities either. You got Drew Stafford, future Bruin, and Mike Greer. You know what's super annoying is trying to find a photo of a jersey and 0 photos can be found where you see the full jersey. I agree that's annoying. I don't know if that's ever happened to me, but I agree that's annoying. Thomas Vanek. Snipe, Heatseeker, Snappy. Yeah. Jochen Heish. Rafi Torres. Grinder. Yeah, that's fair. What's his discipline? 74. Ooh, that's a little bit high. That's a little bit high. Patrick Coletta. Okay. It'll be Tim Kennedy. Yeah. And then Matt Ellis. Former Portland Pirates, of course. And then the centers, Derek Roy. Snappy, tape to tape. Okay. Tim Connolly, tape to tape, third eye. Also good. Paul Gostad and Adam Mayer. That was a Sabres team. That sure was. They were really struggling to stop the wheels from falling off in the aftermath of their Eastern Conference final run in 06. And as we all know, the wheels fell off and have yet to be put back on the vehicle. See, Calgary, Mika Kiprasov, Butterfly Effect, Contortionist, and then Vesa Toskala behind him. The Finnish contingent. See, defense, Jay Bouwmeester, arguably at his peak. Man, Jay Bouwmeester really was a solid player. It's a shame how his career ended. Mark Giordano with Ice Pack, Seeing Eye. That's not bad. Ian White, probably at the peak of his powers. Robin Regier, Corey Sarich, Steve Stais, and Adam Party. No other abilities to speak of there. So, petition to watch you play a game on the Kill Tourism. Never say never. Jerome McGinley. 90 overall, Jerome. Damn. Let's see. Kodalik. Let's go to Leak. Jamal Mayers and Brian McGrattan. Former Portland Pirate. Does Jamal Mayers have the eyebrows? That's the question. Does Jamal Mayers have the bushy eyebrows? He does. He does. Yep. Good. Good. Got to make sure. These are the important things, you know? Let's see, left wing side. Chris Higgins, highest rated. Okay. Rene Bork, Curtis Glencross, Nigel Dawes, David Moss, Nick Hagman, and Eric Nystrom. It's probably Nigel Dawes, like, peak of his career. Jerome McGinley and his band of merry men, honestly. It's a whole lot of third liners on that left wing side, and then a whole lot of third liners down the middle. Damon Langkow, Matt Stajan, Michael Backlund, and freaking Craig Conroy. 38-year-old Craig Conroy as well. That is not a very good team, is it? That is not a very good team. Like Kipper and Iggy leading the way, yes, and then like Bouwmeester, Giordano, not bad, and then it's a lot of mid after that, isn't it? Let's see, Carolina, Cam Ward, rocking an 86. That's fair still for the time. Manny Legacy, okay. Defense, Joni Pitkinen. Speaking of shame, way people's careers ended, he fucking fractured his goddamn ankle. Tim Gleason, Brian Potier, 82. Really? Jamie McBain, Jay Harrison, Alex Picard, and Brett Carson. But really? This is the first rating I'm a little bit, this is Brian Potier rating. Is the first one I'm a little bit surprised by. Huh. I might not know ball, in fairness, though. Let's see. Jamie McBain at 21. Jay Harrison, Alex Picard, and Brett Carson. Right wing side, Tuomo Ruutu, Chad LaRose, Tom Kostopoulos, and Pat Dwyer. Oh, Carolina. That's a right wing side. That is a right wing side. Left wing, Ray Whitney at 37. Was still pretty good. UC Jokinen, as all alone. Good. Let's see, Eric Cole, Truculence and Snappy, Sergei Samsonov, Zach Boychuk, everyone's favorite Twitter follow. I like it starts him at an 80, but just no potential at all. Like, yep, that's his peak right there. Peaked in high school, Zach Boychuk. And then Yuri Talusti. And then down the middle, Eric doesn't remember what clothes he puts on Stahl. Fucking Brandon Sutter before the trade to the Penguins, and then Rod the Bod. Which in franchise mode, Brindamore has to be the coach of. Well, then again, Snipe, did you start this before they added the coaches? Because it'd be funny to have head coach Rod Brindamore coaching Rod Brindamore. That'd be pretty good. That was also not a very good Hurricanes team. A couple of pieces. You did start it before the coaches. That's fair. Couple of pieces. I mean, despite Personal thoughts towards Eric Stahl. He was a very, very good player. Chicago, who would win the Cup this year. Antti Niemi and Cristobal Huet. Okay. It's not bad. Defense, Duncan Keith. Yep. Top 100 player of all time, Duncan Keith. Yeah, Dim is booing already. I'm just going to stick to ratings talks for the 2010 Chicago Blackhawks. I'm just going to stick to ratings talk on this one. Because some Hawks fans get a little bit sensitive when you mention the other things that happened. They get just a little bit sensitive. Some of them, not all of them, but some of them do. So we won't talk about it. Duncan Keith. You got Brent Seabrook. Bunch of abilities, rightfully so. Brian Campbell. God, this defense was pretty damn solid, wasn't it? Kim Janssen, Nick Chalmerson, Brent Sopel, Nick Boynton, and not Joe Hendry. Local hero. Nick Boynton, Brent Sopel, and one Jordan Hendry. Let's see, right wing side, Marian Hossa. Just an abundance of abilities, and rightfully so. Patrick Kane, an abundance of abilities, and rightfully so. Still a winger at the time, Dustin Byfuglien. A bunch of abilities, and rightfully so. Christopher Stieg, Troy Brouwer, and Adam Burish. Damn. That right wing side's ridiculous, dude. Left wing side, Patrick Sharp. Also outstanding. Andrew Ladd. Dude, this team was fucking ridiculous, though, wasn't it? See that? Okay. No, we're not going to talk about it. We're not going to talk about how it's a shame that you can't remember a great on-ice team without the fact that the other stuff happened that, again, certain Hawks fans don't like to talk about. Oh, thank you for the 19 months. Shout out to Brian Bickle, Thomas Kopecky, and Ben Eager. And then, down the middle, Jonathan Taves. Full house of abilities, and rightfully so. Dave Boland. John Madden's football. And Colin Frazier? It was Colin Frazier. There you go. Again, obviously this team is ridiculous, right? I mean, they won the Cup that year for a reason, but that is a ridiculous team. Absolutely ridiculous. Hey, Colorado, Craig Anderson. Okay. And Peter Budaj. See, defense, John Michael Lyles, which is interesting. Actually, it's not surprising. Again, we put out, for those that missed it, again, I put out the video doing the whole 50 states comparison plus DC, talking about who the best states are from comparing NHL, NBA, MLB, and NFL players and like their WAR totals. John Michael Lyles was his state's representative for the NHL. But yeah, hey, check that out if you haven't already. I had fun with that video. But people seem to enjoy those videos that actually watch them, but a lot of people are like, oh, it's not franchise, not watching it, which I respect. It is what it is. Hello, Crashy. Hello, Henrique as well. What's going on, dude? See, we got Adam Foote at 38, Scott Hannon, Kyle Quincy, Brett Clark, Ruslan Saleh, Ryan Wilson, and
we're
Kyle
doing this again.
Basterizer. 6 months. Thank you guys for all the resubs tonight, by the way. I do appreciate it. It's now a good time to say I'm going to disappear on you again for a few days. Literally just a day. I'm only going to miss Saturday. That's honestly not too bad of a defense for the Avs. It's a lot of ideally third pair guys or like lower end second pair. They don't really have the one elite defenseman to lead the way. Right wing side, Milan Hajduk. Love me some Milan Hajduk. Chris Stewart, Peter Mueller, Marek Svatos, Darcy Tucker, and Brendan Yip. Interesting. But Chris Stewart and Peter Mueller, Marek Svatos, RIP. Darcy Tucker. God, Darcy Tucker was only 34 at that point? That doesn't seem possible that he was only 34 at that point. That's crazy. That is crazy. Oh my God, this left wing side. Matt Hendricks, TJ Gagliardi, Cody McLeod, and I think Chris Durno. Ugh. And this is why the Avs were bad. That is brutal. Whew. And then the centers, a very young Paul Stastny and even younger Matt Duchene. Ryan O'Reilly as well. It's still crazy, right? Like, you look at that era and it's like, yeah, the success that they'll have. And it's like, nope, Duchene didn't last. Ryan O'Reilly didn't last. And then Stefan Yell. Damn. Duchene's got to be an interesting player to have in franchise or to use. It's a mid-Avs team. And obviously, Stastny wouldn't even be long for the team, right? I mean, they wouldn't trade him all that much longer after this, to my recollection. Let's see. Columbus. Stevie Mason. See if he's as dominant here as he is in 2K10. And Matthew Guerin with him. Let's see. Defense. Oof. Fedor Tutin, Anton Strawman, Rostislav Klesla, Jan Hayda, Mike Commodore, Mark Mathot, Chris Russell, and I think that's Nathan Page. Might be Nolan Page. GBT was going to tell me to give Mason medium franchise. I mean, for how he played that season, yes. I mean, he won the Calder, but immediately after that, just straight downhill, you know? Any of these guys have abilities. Chris Russell probably has Ice Pack, if I had to guess. I don't know if any of these guys actually have any abilities. No Ice Pack for Russell. Does he at least have good shot blocking? Yes, he does. Might have been too early before he was really taking over the league. Let's see, right wing side, Jakub Voracek at 20. Of course, he wouldn't be too long for that team. You got Chris Clark, Jared Bull, Mike London, and Derek Dorsett. That's a bottom six, all right. That's a bottom six, all right. Magic Warrior. Magic. Rick Nash rocking an 87. That's a little bit lower than I expected. In fairness, his offensive abilities are pretty damn solid. His defensive abilities are not, which is probably fair. Okay. I'm a little bit surprised that Teemu Selanne was rated higher than Rick Nash at this point. Christian Huselius, my biggest regret in life. I swear, in life. Because, gotta be honest, I don't have too many regrets at this stage in my life. But the biggest regret of my life was I was in St. John, New Brunswick, and I found... I don't even know if I can find a picture of the damn thing. Damn it, maybe I didn't upload it on Instagram. Maybe it was... Oh, man, I think it was a Twitter upload, which means it's probably long gone. But I found a rubber duck that had... It was a rubber duck of Christian Huselius. The weirdest piece of hockey merch I've ever seen, and for whatever reason, I'm like, nah, I don't need this. Idiot. I should have bought it. Let's see. RJ Umberger. Andrew Murray and Nikita Filatov. IHL top six Filatov. Oof. Centers. Anton Vermette for the faceoffs. Sammy Paulson and Derek Brassard. That is not a particularly impressive Blue Jackets team, which I can't say is surprising. I mean, there's a couple of pieces around Rick Nash, but not a ton. Not a ton. Dallas. Kari Lettinen, more affectionately known as Kari Letterman. And Marty Turco. Marty Turco. Love me some Marty Turco. Oh, don't love me that defense, though. Stefan Robida, Trevor Daley, Carlos Scratchins, Matt Niskanen, Nick Grossman, Mark Fisher, and Jeff Wojciechowski. Whew. This was before Robida Island. This is RIP to Carlos Scratchins as well. That is a defense. I mean, like, Matt Niskanen at his peak was probably better than anybody else there at their peak. Aha! Thank you for finding it on eBay. I'm not saying I'm going to buy it, but I might. Like, look at this fucking thing. Do you believe I looked at that and said, no, I'm not going to buy it? Idiot. Absolute idiot that I am for not buying that. Ridiculous. Fucking idiot. Anyway. Right wing side, Yuri Letnin, bunch of defensive abilities, rightfully so. Fucking Brandon Siegel and Chris Barch. That's a team. Literally type it into Google. I didn't want to see it because it's just, it brings back bad memories of decisions past. Louis Eriksson, boy, he'd look really good as a Bruin. Oh, James Neal. This was around the time he never washed his hair. Brendan Morrow with some abilities. This left wing side's pretty stacked. Jamie Benz over there. Big Rig Snappy and Truckin' and Fabian Brunstrom. Fair enough. And the centers, Brad Richards. Bad Mike Ribeiro. You big piece of shit. Mike Modano. Don't go to Detroit, Mike. Don't go to Detroit. Don't do it. Let's see, we got Steve Ott, Toby Peterson, Tom Wandell, and Brian Sotheby. You know, it starts off strong for Dallas, and then it kind of falls off towards the end. That's not too bad, though. That's one of the more well-rounded teams that we've seen so far. Detroit, Western Conference Detroit, by the way. You got Jimmy Howard at an 84, former UMaine Black Bear, and Chris Osgood, rocking an 81. I mean, he was 36. It makes sense. Defensively, Lidstrom still an absolute beast. Brian Rafalski still an dude, this defense, holy shit. Nick Cronwall with truculence, of course. Brad Stewart, Bruins legend. You got Brett Lebda. I mean, look, it falls off a little bit, but those top four, that's ridiculous. But Brett Lebda, Jonathan Erickson, Andreas Lilia, and Derek Meach. Damn. Damn. I mean, they did go to the Cup final the year before. Lost to Pittsburgh. Right wing side, Todd Boo Toozy. Patrick Eves. And one Jason Williams. Yeah. Left wing side, Johan Franzen. Thomas Holmstrom. God, the freaking power forwards they had. Got Dan Cleary, Drew Miller, Kirk Maltby, a young Justin Abdelkader. A little bit surprised Abdelkader's only a medium 9. A little bit surprised. And then Brad May at 37. Like, Abdelkader at his peak, which admittedly was a small window. He was a very good player, though. Speaking of very good players, Pavel Datsyuk. I mean, gold tricky makes all the sense in the world, doesn't it? Henrik Zetterberg. God damn, having those two on the same team is just unfair. Valtteri Filppula, Darren Helm, and Chris Draper. That's a hell of a team. What does Datsyuk look like, by the way? 5-star in everything but shooting and physical. Yeah. Damn. That's still a hell of a team in Detroit. God damn. Edmonton. Now, this is the opposite of hell of a team. This was the team that finished dead last that season. Ended up with the first overall pick, of course, and took Taylor Hall. Which makes sense. But Nikolai Habibulin and one Jeff Delorier. That's a goaltending tandem. Defense, Sheldon Surrey. Not a bad start. Ryan Whitney. He's okay. Abdelkader had 2 40-point seasons. Is that really a top 6 forward? I just feel like medium 9's a smidge low. Smidge. Especially, too, because you're talking about Abdelkader's peak being around the time that you had the Art Ross win with, 82 points? Something like that. So, but I could be wrong. I could be off a little bit. It's a long time ago. I've gotten old since then. Tom Gilbert, Lottie Schmid, Jason Strudwick, Aaron Johnson, and Taylor Chorney. That's a defense, all right. Right wing side, Elishemsky, very good player. Fernando Pisani, and then Zach Stortini as a face puncher. Left wing side, Dustin Penner, who I think was their leading scorer this year, so it really kind of shows you where they were at. Shout out to Pear Brodux, or Brodux even. That's an outstanding name. Thank you for the follow. Let's see. And the primer as well. Very kind of you. Thank you so much. I didn't do anything. I'm just looking at a roster that somebody else made, but thank you. Patrick O'Sullivan, Ethan Morrow, Robert Nilsson, Ryan Jones, and Jean-Francois Jacques. Yeah. God, this team was so bad. And then centers, Sam Gagner, when there was still a lot of hope for him. I mean, he had a solid career, but still. Sean Horkoff, Andrew Cogliano, Mike Comrie, Gilbert Brulé, Antoine Pouliot, and Ryan Patulny. That's a team, all right. That's a team. Blue Jackets-esque. Blue Jackets-esque. The Florida Panthers. Thomas Vokoun. Very, very good. And then Scott Clemenson, who was also on that list of state representatives in that video. Defensively, Ryan McCabe, Brian Allen, Keith Ballard, Dmitry Kulikov, Jay Garrison, Keaton Ellerby, and Ville Koistinen. That's a defense, all right. So, see, when a lot of people are like, oh, man, Panthers fans are insufferable since they won. Like, well, number one, that happens with every team. But secondly, like, you got to think about what Panthers fans put up with for a long time. The caliber of players that they were watching on top of constantly having to hear how their team should move. You know? Let's see, right wing side, Nathan Horton, shortly before the trade to Boston, of course. You got Michael Frolik, Radek Dvorak, Victor Oreskovich, and Byron Bitts. Bruins legend. Byron Bitts. That's a team right there. Left wing side, ancient Corey Stillman. David Booth, was solid. Roslav Olesh, Sean Matthias, and Nick Tarnasky. Sure was a team. Centers, Stephen Weiss. Quick pick, tape to tape. Stephen Ryan Precht, Gregory Campbell. Shortly, of course, before the Bruins acquisition. And Camille Krebs. That's a rough scene, man. That's a rough scene. Whew. Let's see. Los Angeles with a very young Jonathan Quick. Gold contortionist. And then Eric Erzberg. Obviously, Jonathan Quick is Jonathan Quick. Future Hall of Famer. Defense, 19-year-old Drew Doughty. Gold sended as well, huh? Rob Scuderi. Baby Jack Johnson. Well, he was 22. Not quite Baby Jack Johnson at that point. Sean O'Donnell. Bruins legend. Randy Jones, former Flyer. He had Matt Green, Davis Druiski, and Peter Harold. That's a defense, all right. Right wing side. You know what? Here, I'll actually let me move over to the other side, just because on occasion things are getting a little bit cut off. So we'll go over here now. Let's mix it up. We'll mix it up. Yeah, Dustin Brown at 24, gold truck. Sure. Justin Williams, of course, born leader. That's fair. Wayne Simmons. All right, we got to do the 2K10 check. Hold on. Okay, confirming that Wayne Simmons is in fact a black guy. If you've played NHL 2K10, you know what I'm referring to. Spoiler alert, they made Wayne Simmons white in that game. Brad Richardson and Scott Parse. Fucking Scott Parse. Okay. I wanted to make him white for the jokes, but that looked bad. That's fair. See, Ryan Smith. Dude, I had a Ryan Smith Kings jersey. I should have kept it. Alex Frolov, Freddie Modine, fucking goddamn, right? This Ivanins and Oscar Mahler. Whew, how the hell was this team 2 years away? And centers, well, that's a big part of the reason. Anze Kopitar, Jarrett Stoll, Michael Hanzus, and Jeff Halpern. That's a pretty solid center core, in fairness. Baby Kings, it's an interesting time to take over them for a franchise. The Minnesota Wild. Goalies, Nick Backstrom. Bunch of abilities for him. And then Josh Harding. No contract for Josh Harding? I'm guessing that was intentional, Snipe. See, defense. Oof, when your best defenseman, Marek Zidlichky. Ugh. Not that he was bad, but still, you don't want him as your best defenseman. Cam Barker, Brent Burns. He's back on defense now, shortly before the Sharks trade. Good bunch of abilities. Let's see, Nick Schultz. You got Greg Zanin, Shane Knighty, and John Scott. That's a fun defense. Couple future Bruins on that list. Right wing side, Marty Havlat. I mean, very, very solid player. Peter Sikora, my goat. He's not, but I always was a big fan of Peter Sikora. I don't think it was. The AI doesn't drop him, so it's good. Okay, cool. Antti Miettinen, Owen Nolan at 37, Chuck Kobasu, and 21-year-old Cal Clutterbuck. Damn. Well, snipe now, you know, in case you wanted to fix it. Andrew Brunette, Preds legend. Guillaume Latendresse. What's his durability, I wonder? 80? Okay. I mean, he did have his career pretty much ended by injuries. Derek Bogard. And Robbie Earl. Damn. And then centers, Mikko Koivu. Bunch of defensive abilities, rightfully so. Pierre-Marc Bouchard. Passing ability, I like to see that. Kyle Brodziak at an 82.
I'm just trying to walk through the fucking grass.
Thank you very much for the ball. Welcome in. Andrew Ebbett and James Shepard to round it out. That's not a terrible Minnesota team. It's a little bit surprising they weren't able to put the pieces together a little bit more and actually kind of, I don't know, do something in the 2010s. Montreal with Yaroslav Halak. And number one goalie, Carey Price. The franchise tag on Carey Price. I don't even know where my Price jersey is. It's on the jersey rack somewhere. Or it's on the wall. It is. It's right up there. I didn't even look. Man, full house of abilities for Carey Price, huh? Let's see, defensively, Andrei Markov, in fairness. Yeah, this was at his peak. Roman Hammerlick, Yaro Spacek, Hal Gill, Josh Georges, Marc-Andre Bergeron, Paul Mara, and Ryan O'Beauty. Ryan O'Byrne. So, Barrett is a hell of a song, isn't it? That's not a bad defense for the Habs, by the way. Not at all. Right wing side, Brian Gianna, future Bruin. God damn it, there's so many of them. Sergei Kostitsyn and one Georges Larac. As a beautiful face puncher. Left wing side, Mike Camilleri. Very, very solid. Shout out to Rob on these 75 months. Ridiculous.
Highly unnecessary. That with the Patriots jacket.
Ridiculous. Thank you for that. Welcome back. Just in time to talk about the greatness of Benoit Pouliot. Future Bruin. God damn it. Max Pacioretty. Medium 6. Even I might argue it should be higher. Travis Moan and Matthew Darsh. What a team. And centers, Turtleneck, Thomas Plakanix. Yeah, very, very solid two-way. Scott Gomez, Habs legend, Scott Gomez. Dominic Moore, Glenn Metropolitan, and Maxime Lapierre, who can go fuck himself. Just a rat of a player. Absolute rat. I always found Habs fans or Canucks fans funny when they're like, that rat Brad Marchand. It's like, you had this guy on your team. You're one to talk. Goodness. The Nashville Predators. Pekka Rinne, still an active goalie, apparently, at least in the 5th tier in Finland, which is nuts. And then Dan Ellis as the backup. Okay. See, defense, Shea Weber boy, let me tell you, a good kid right there. He plays the game the right way. I've lost my Don Cherry impression, I swear. You know, use it or lose it, I lost it. God, though, freaking Weber, Ryan Suter, Dan Hamhuis, or if you played 2K9, Dan Hamhouse, Cody Franzen, Kevin Klein, Dennis Grabeshkov, Francois Bouillon, and Wade Belak. Obviously an RIP there. Still kind of crazy to me. Nashville only made the Cup final once. Right wing side, Stevie Sullivan. Not bad. Martin Erat. Tape to tape. JP Dumont. Snappy. Patrick Hornqvist. Joel Ward. And Jordan Tutu. That right wing side's, that's some depth, man. Left wing side, Colin Wilson. Very, very strong player. And centers, Jason Arnott. More abilities than I would have thought he'd have at this stage. David Legwand. Marcel Gotch. Fucking Dustin Boyd. Jared Smithson, Nick Spaulding, and Cal O'Reilly. That is a group of talent, all right. But hey, they had Shea Weber. They sure did. New Jersey with future NHL 14 cover boy Martin Brodeur. You got Jan Denis behind him. Let's see, defense, Paul Martin. Quite a few abilities for Paul Martin. Fair enough. Andy Green, similar. Colin White, Bryce Salvador, Martin Skula, Mike Motto, future Bruin. Mark Frazier, and Antti Salmela. That's a defense. A lot of third pairing guys. Antti Salmela. A lot of third pairing guys on that team. I'm sensing a theme. Jamie Langenbrunner. He was only 34. Dinah Zubris at 31. And David Clarkson. Leafs legend. Davey Clarkman. Left wing side. Ilya Kovalchuk. Oof. Peak Kovalchuk, that's for sure. It's that man. Zach Parise there, too. Plenty of abilities for him. Patrick Eliash, that left wing side, nuts, dude. Brian Ralston, former Bruin. Jay Pandolfo, future Bruin. T. McCammond. Is that Andrew Peters at the bottom? Yeah. Damn, that left wing side is strong, though. And then centers, Travis Zajac. Rob Niedermeyer and Rod Pelly. Dang. That's a pretty damn good Devils team, though. I mean, especially Kovalchuk at the height of his powers, you know? Especially the skating is crazy. Was he that good of a skater? Maybe he was. I don't know. Skating like that, though, you'd be like, hey, did we talk about him like he's, the McDavid of his time? The New York Islander. Oh boy. Well, there's one contract that stands out. Yeah, Dwayne Rollison, who would be a member of the Lightning within like a year and a half. Marty Biron. And then Rick DiPietro with Adventurer. And a pretty damn hefty contract. Damn. Defense, Mark Streit. Okay, Mark Streit was really good back in the day. Jack Hillen. Wow, 82 for Jack Hillen. Okay. It's not worth being like, what the fuck about, but, Brandon Witz, Radek Martinek, Freddie Meyer, Bruno Gervais, and Andy McDonald, Flyers legend. That's a defense, all right. That is a defense. Right wing side, a young Kyle Okposo. Trent Hunter. Josh Bailey. Stick him up and tape to tape. Okay. Let's see. Richard Park and then Tim Jackman. Okay. Has anyone been paid more for less playtime than DiPietro? Bobby Bonilla. He is the NHL's Bobby Bonilla. Oh, let's see. Matt Molson towards the height of his powers. I think he was a 30-goal scorer that year. Not sure if you noticed the Devils had 0 right defensemen. I didn't. That's hilarious, though. Let's see. Blake Como, Sean Bergenheim, Jeff Tambellini, Jeff Sim, and Trevor Gillies, who had a hell of a mustache. And centers, John Tavares. Baby Tavares. Boo him if you will. Damn it. I have a Tavares jersey. I have 2 Tavares jerseys, actually. I don't know where either of them are right now. Oh, Dougie Waite had 38. Still a couple of abilities. Franz Nielsen and Rob Schremp. Did Rob Schremp hit a Michigan? The Tavares jersey isn't behind me. You're out of your mind. There's no Tavares jersey back there. It's a Minnesota jersey and something else I can't tell what the hell that other one is, but he did a lacrosse goal. Fair enough. Shout out to Rob Shrimp. That team is John Tavares and his band of merry men, as it was for years. And then he left for Toronto, and everyone got big mad at him, as if, you know. What are you going to do? What's that Isles jersey behind you then? Ah, that one. That one. Let me tell you, it's been a day. We're not getting into it, but it's been a day. Fairness, I was looking for the other one, the Brooklyn style one. The New York Rangers. Henrik Lundqvist. This will be Henrik Lundqvist and his band of merry men. 91, though, for Hank. I mean, yeah. Alex Auld and Steve Valiquette. Why did I think of Stefan Valiquette? I don't know. Got the Steve. Oh, defensively, Mark Stahl. He was damn good. We'll give him that. He was good at his peak. Got Dan Girardi. Ice Packing Truck. Okay. Michael Roosevelt. Ooh, some abilities for Roosevelt. Michael Delzaster. Surprised at the abilities for Roosevelt, in a way. Wade Redden, Matt Gilroy, and Anders Eriksson. That's a team. Obviously, like McDonough would make a pretty big impact on that defense for a bit. Right wing side, Marian Gaborik. Before the injuries really started to add up. Love me some Marian Gaborik. Ryan Callahan. I figured he'd have some abilities as well. And then Enver Leeson. Fair enough. Left wing side, old Vinny Prospel. Decent abilities. Sean Avery. There really does need to be like a rat ability. And just put his face there. Brandon Prust. Donald. Holy goons. Avery Prust. Donald Brashear. Jody Shelley. And Aaron Voros. What the hell? Was Torts coaching this team? Oh my God, he must have been so happy if he was. I don't think he was, but still. Actually, he might have been. Because then the Canucks happened in what, like 2012? I don't know. I said it's been a day. Chris Drury, every Rangers fan's favorite right now. Chris Drury. Was a great player, though. Ole Jokinen. Love some Ole Jokinen. Brandon Dubinsky. Eric Christensen. Artem Anisimov. And Brian Boyle. Okay. Let's see. Goalies for the Ottawa Senators. Pascal Leclerc and Brian Elliott. Elliott at least has dialed in. Let's see. Defense. Anton Volchenkov. Bunch of abilities for him. It was Torts. There you go. Chris Phillips. Bunch of abilities for him. Of course, mostly defensive and leadership. Philip Kuba. Great player. Baby Carlson. You should have. Oh, God. It's a shame he ever left Ottawa. It just hasn't been the same since. Chris Campoli. 80 overall for Matt Karkner. A little bit more than I'd expect. And then Andy Sutton. Not the worst defense we've seen. Right wing side, Daniel Alfredson. Don't go to Detroit, Alfie. Don't do it. Don't do it. Alex Kovalev at 36. That's still a pretty damn good rating for Kovalev. Fair play. Milan Mahalik, Chris Neal, Jonathan Chichu, and Sean Donovan. Nothing for Mahalik. Nothing for Neal. Not even a truculence. Interesting. Jonathan Chichu and then Donovan. Former Bruin. Center, Nick Foligno. Future Bruin. Some abilities for him, though. And Jarkko Ruutu. And centers, Jason Spezza at 26. Obviously, Spezza, his peak was insane. Mike Fisher, Chris Kelly. We got Matt Cullen, Peter Reagan, Ryan Shannon, and Jesse Winchester. A lot of bottom six level talent for Ottawa there, you know? Obviously, like Alfredson, Kovalev, Spezza, defense isn't too bad. Philly with Ray Emery, Michael fucking Layton at 2010, second round. God damn. And then one Brian Boucher. Rest in peace, Razor, of course. Defense, Chris Pronger. He was still so good, man. He was still so damn good. He really was. Oh, Kimmo Timonen. Yeah, has gold ice pack. Can't fault that. Matt Carl. Braden Coburn. Ryan Parent. Lucas Krachasek. Danny Sevret or Sevlet, whatever you prefer. And Oscar Bartulis. I mean, it's not the best defense, but it's not the worst either. Like, it falls off a bit. Holy fucking lefties, by the way. Jesus. A right-handed defenseman, a myth? Like, I remember Steve Dangle mentioning at the time, like, can the Leafs, for the love of God, get a right-handed defenseman? Right wing side, Ian LaPerriere and Aaron Asham, because you could never have too much grit. Left wing side, Simon Gagne. So good. Scott Hartnell. Were you able to give him the Sideshow Bob hair, I wonder? I wonder. Were you able to give him the hair? The Yager mullet? In fairness, close enough. Close enough. I like it. Oh, baby JVR. Big tipper, crease crowd. Yeah, makes sense. Villileno. Sabres legend. Dan Carcillo. And one Riley Cote. So much grit. And then centers, Mike Richards. Tape to tape, truculence, back at you. Damn. 21-year-old Claude Giroux. Full house of abilities. Jeff Carter. God damn. Plenty of abilities. Danny Briere. Plenty of abilities. Blair Betts and Daryl Pow. Or Poe, whatever you prefer. But, like, people look back and like, man, how the hell did the Bruins get reverse swept by that Flyers team? Like, dude, this really wasn't a bad Flyers team at all. It really wasn't. They were close. I mean, obviously, they went to the Cup final that year and barely lost to Chicago. A damn good team. Pittsburgh with Marc-Andre Fleury and his full house of abilities, as well as one Brent Johnson, a.k.a. Rick DiPietro's daddy. Defense, Sergei Gonchar at 35, near full house of abilities. 22-year-old Chris Letang, also with 4 abilities and gold, send it. Alex Goligoski, Jordan Leopold, man's game.
The man was a fanboy.
Welcome in. Happy to have you here. We got Brooks Orpik, Mark Eaton, and Jay McKee. Moki, you're not wrong. I put out an entire video about how the Bruins are perennial underachievers. People got mad at me for it, but it's like 2011 was the fluke. That was the exception to the rule. Right wing side, Bill Guerin. Bill Guerin's still actively being investigated, by the way. I'm quite sure. Quite sure he's still actively being investigated, is he not? But, you know, we don't have to talk about that. You can just, what a player. And by what a player, I mean he also assaulted one of his own teammates in practice. But, you know, you criticize someone who recently twerked for the president. You know, you'll just come off as a hater for that reason. But yeah, if you've never looked up violent hockey stick attacks by Billy Garrett, that's a video that's up there on the YouTube side of things. Let's see, Tyler Kennedy, Craig Adams, and Eric Goddard, 73. Oof. Wasn't this year they had the Islanders brawl? I think so. Might have been the year after. Left wing side, Chris Kunitz, back at you in truck. Alexei Ponikarovsky, Pascal Dupuis, Ruslan Fedotenko, Mike Rupp. And Matt Cook. And at center, Sidney Crosby. Wonder whatever happened to that guy. No beauty backhand for Crosby. Interesting. Evgeny Malkin, of course. full house of abilities as well. Jordan Stahl, solid abilities as well. And Max Talbot. Recently found out Ryan Lomberg was kicked off the UMaine hockey team. He sure was. He sure was. Yeah. Yeah, there's yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you could probably find articles from like the Bangor Daily News or something about that, about his guilty plea. I think he was like 19 or something like that, 20 when he got kicked off the team. I think so. Oh, Penguins obviously looking good. The San Jose Sharks, Evgeny Nabokov, Thomas Greiss. Emphasis on the SS with that guy, am I right? God, Nabokov is so good, though. Defense, Dan Boyle at like his peak. You could argue, I mean, Greiss, you could say his peak was around the time he won the Cup with the Lightning in 04. Rob Blake, certainly not at his peak anymore, but was still pretty damn good even at his age. Mark-Edouard Vlasic, couple defensive abilities, rightfully so. Kent Huskins, Douglas Murray, Jason Demers, and Nick Walline. Damn. Not a bad defense for the Sharks. Not a bad defense for the Sharks. You can pretty much look at the Sharks in any year after like 2010 and just be like, man, how didn't that team win a cup? Sorry if you're watching, Sin or No Sleeves. Devin Setaguchi, the Goocher. He's affectionately known on this channel as. Torrey Mitchell, Jed Ortmeyer, and Brad Staubitz. God, having a Jed and a Brad on the same team. Awesome. Danny Heatley. Gold 1T. God damn. Patrick Marleau, Ryan Clough, and Jamie McGinn. Born leader for Marleau. Yeah. Ryan Clough. And again, we mentioned Jamie McGinn. Are the Sharks the number one? How'd they not win a cup in the last 25 years? Can anybody name somebody better? I mean, without a doubt, like as an organization, yes, they have to be number one of how did you not win a cup. In terms of like individual teams, there might be an argument. Maybe. Like, say, I'm not saying this team for an example, but say like the 04 Avalanche, who had like Korea, Solani, like they were supposed to make a big run and it didn't happen. The 2019 Lightning. That's a good shout. That's a real good shout. And if we want to say that's the case, then it took a record-setting team like the 2019 Lightning. Dare I say the record-setting Boston Bruins, who crashed and burned in the playoffs. But then again, you know, there's a lot of arguments about the best individual teams to have never won a cup, you know, especially over the last 25 years. But as a franchise as a whole, it's got to be the Sharks. It has to be. Like the core that they had. I mean, look at this center core. Fucking Joe Thornton at this point was still just 30 years old. Yeah, Joe Pavelski at 25. He might have lied about getting punched for saying, I'd vote for Trump if I could. No one fucking believes that story, Logan. But Logan Couture is still a great fucking hockey player. Manny Malhotra was on this team at this point, and Scott Nickel. But yeah, no, I mean, this team is ridiculous, right? And once we actually get into franchise mode, this is my bet for who's going to win the cup in Season 1 Sim, because holy shit, you know? Obviously, Seattle will just be Seattle. There was nothing Snipe had to do with the particular roster, because it just won't factor in once you're in Custom League. So, oh, Bunny, there's a lot of them. we don't keep count at this point. There's a lot of them. It's okay. People are entitled to their opinions, no matter how fucking stupid they may be. For some reason, that's in my opinion. You know? Shout out to RJI. Not mistaken. Thank you for the follow. Not the follow, the sub on the primer. Have I mentioned it's been a day for me? Have I mentioned? God, it's been a day. Ask Crash Andrews. For the St. Louis Blues, we have Chris Mason, Ty Conklin. That's an okay pairing, nothing crazy. Defense, Eric Johnson. Again, not that long after he betrayed to Colorado, though. Barrett Jackman, former Rookie of the Year. We got Eric Brewer, Carlo Koliakovo, Daryl Sador? Daryl Sador was still playing. Jesus. Roland Pollock and Mike Weaver. That's as blues of a defense as I've ever seen. Daryl Sador was still playing. That's fucking crazy. Right wing side, Bruins legend, Brad Boys. Speaking of people with a certain political affiliation, TJ Oshie. Still a hell of a player, though. BJ Crombeen, Cam Jansen, and Matt D'Agostini. God, the forward depth was lacking a little bit, huh? Left wing side, Paul Kariya. Still regret getting rid of my Paul Kariya Blues jersey. I really do. Old Keith Tkachuk. Oh, I mean, abilities make sense. Alex Steen, David Perron, and Brad Winchester. You could make an argument about this Blues team not being more competitive than they were until 2019. And centers David Backes, future Bruin. Andy McDonald does have the face-off ability, as he should. Patrick Berglund, Sabres legend. And Jay McClement, Leafs legend. Hurricanes legend. Not a bad Blues team. Not insane, but that'd probably be a fun team to use in franchise. The Tampa Bay Lightning, Mike Smith. Always forget Mike Smith was on Tampa. We're going to Dallas. Antero Niittymaki, long before going to the Coyotes, of course, too. Defense, Matthias Oland, Andre Mazzaros, future Bruin. Victor Hedman at 18, high elite. Yeah, makes sense. Curtis Foster, Mike Lundin. I think that's Matt Walker. Jesus. David Hale and Matt Smobby. How the hell was this team just over a year away from a Eastern Conference Finals run? And again, the Bruins beat them like, what, 1-0 in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Final? God damn. The team needs a lot of work. Right wing side, Martin St. Louis. Just feels right to see him in Tampa. Steve Downey and Brandon Bochenski. Left wing side, Alex Tanguay. I always forget he was in Tampa as well. God, he was only 29. Jesus. Ryan Malone, Stefan Veilleux, Teddy Purcell, Todd Fedoruk. I think that's Jamie Wright. I don't even remember who the hell this is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, James Wright. There you go. Oh, Fox dropping the old 5,000, huh? He's going to want me to use Tampa, isn't he? I really should take that choice thing away, shouldn't I? I need a run with this team. I knew that's what you were going to say. And at center, Vinny Lecavalier. Baby Steven Stamkos. Try to replicate the success that this team had. Oh, goodness. Goodness. Habs legend, Vinny. There you go. We got Nate Thompson, Zenon Konopka, and Paul Shishura, former Pirate. So, funny, duly noted. I still got to... Well, actually, it's funny. I don't have the Oilers jersey up on the wall. I got to change the wall out anyway. It's fine. We'll get to it. The Toronto Maple Leafs. This is going to be an experience right here. J.S. Jaguar and the monster, Jonas Gustafsson. Future Bruin, Jonas Gustafsson. Defensively, Dion Phaneuf, gold seeing eye. Surprised he has a gold. 94 slap shot power, though, for Dion Phaneuf. Boston Bruins legend, Thomas Caberlet. Damn. Francois Beauchemin. Honestly, this Leafs defense on paper is not too bad. But then when they got on the ice, that was a different story. You got baby Luke Shen, Mike Komisarek, Jeff Finger, Garnet Exelby, and Carl Gunnarsson. Blues legend, Carl Gunnarsson. Damn. The defense kind of falls apart at the end, though. Right wing side, Philip J. Hot Dog. Love some Phil Kessel. And then Colton Orr, former Bruin. Former Bruins. Left wing side, Nikolai Cool Lemon. Nikolai Cool Lemon. Commentary used to call him Cool Lemon. Freddie Sjustrom, Victor Stahlberg, Luca Caputi, and Jay Rosehill. Fox. I'm just saying I might have to postpone that Tampa run because holy shit, this team is a tire fire and they'd be so fun to use. And at center, Tyler Bozak, Mikhail Grabowski. Dude, I have to use this team at some point, even if I don't do it first. Oh my God. Wayne Primo, John Mitchell, Jamie Lundmark, Ricard Valine, and Christian Hansen. Jesus Christ. Wow. Wow. That's a time right there. Utah, a.k.a. Arizona. Again, there is the one recreated Arizona team to import. But it's Ilya Brizgalov and Jason LaBarbera. Their defense is Ed Jovanovski, Jovo Cop, with Keith Yandel. Not bad for the abilities. Adrian Aucoin, Zepnik Mahalik, Derek Morris, Matthew Schneider, Jim Vandermeer, and Sammy Lapisto. Not too bad. I mean, again, this team wasn't that far away from going to the Western Conference Final. Right wing side, Shane Doan. You should have left, Shane. You should have left. Lee Stempniak, Radim Verbata, and Peter Pruka. Left wing side, they had Scotty Upshaw, Wojciech Wolski, Taylor Pyatt, or was it Tom? It was Taylor Pyatt. Lori Korpikoski, Daniel Winnick, and Paul Bissonnette. A 74. Generous, some might say. And at center, Robert Lang, Matt Lombardi, Martin Hansel. Dude, Hansel was a really good player until the injuries just took him down. Vernon Fiddler and Petri Nokalainen. Future Bruin. Petri Nokalainen. Not bad for the Phoenix Coyotes at the time. The Vancouver Canucks with Roberto Luongo. Full house of abilities. And the greatest goaltender of all time. It's Andrew Raycroft. Defensively, Christian Ehrhoff. Gold seeing eye. Okay. Alex Edler. No golds for Edler yet. Sammy Salo. Kevin Bieksa. Willie Mitchell. Andrew Alberts. Shane O'Brien. And Aaron Rowe. Sorry, 2011 feelings are still there. Right wing side. I'm not apologizing for my feelings on this one. Piece of shit. On the ice and off. Piece of shit. Oh, well, he's done good stuff off the ice. Good for you. You do more. Keep making up for it. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. You don't get to mock childhood abuse and then be like, but I gave to a hospital. Keep going. Keep giving. Scumbag. We have one Mikhail Samuelson, Steve Bernier, Yannick Hansen only at an 80. That's a bit of a surprise. I mean, in fairness, he was 23. Maybe I'm just thinking of how he continued to evolve as a player. Left wing side, Daniel Sedin. I mean, yeah, 91 makes sense. Pavel Demitra, RIP, of course. Mason Raymond. No wheels for Mason Raymond. Does have 93 speed, though. That's good. Tanner Glass, Darcy Hordichuk. I mean, gotta do what you gotta do. And then the center is Henrik Sedin. Also, of course, a lovely amount of abilities. Ryan Kessler. Quick draw. Kyle Wellwood, Ryan Johnson, and Rick Rippin. RIP. That was a hell of a Canucks team, though. I mean, again, you talk about, and they were mentioned when we were talking about, like, oh, best, like, individual, single season teams to not win. Canucks of this era. They should have won in 2011. They really should have. They fucking choked. The Vegas Golden Knights, of course, are just the Vegas Golden Knights, just like Seattle. So you won't see any changes there. The Washington Capitals with Jose Theodore. Couple abilities for him still. Semyon Varlamov has some abilities as well. And then Michael Neuwirth. Medium fringe. Yeah, that makes sense. Defensively, Mike Green at the peak of his power. Dude, he is going to score so many goals when in the franchise mode. It's not even funny. Depending on what the hell is his shot pass at. I need to look. You guys know how in modern NHL franchises you have like Adam Fox and Cale Makar going off? My guess is that, 3 out of 5, he's, Jesus Christ. He's going to be the best defenseman in franchise mode is my guess with this roster. That's crazy. You got Joe Corvo, future Bruin. Tom Pody. Is that Jeff Schultz? It's Jeff Schultz. John Erskine. Sean Morrison. Milan Yurchina, former Bruin. And Tyler Sloan? Tyler Sloan. Goddamn. Right wing side, Alexander Semin. I have the Semin jersey on the wall. No, I don't. I do have it right there, but I'm not taking it off the wall. It's fine. Mike Knuble, former Bruin. Eric Fair, Scott Walker. 2009 playoffs against the Hurricanes. Flopped in overtime. Drew a terrible call. Hurricanes win. Fuck you, Scott Walker. And Matt Bradley. Left wing side, Alexander Ovechkin. Never heard of him. Thomas Fleischman, Jason Chimera, and Quentin Lang. Good old Quentin Lang. And then centers, Nick Backstrom. There's Brendan Morrison. Damn, Brooks Lyke, Eric Belanger, Dave Steckel, and Boyd Gordon. Anybody know a Boyd? I feel like people don't name their kids Boyd anymore. Maybe I'm wrong. And then, of course, Winnipeg, a.k.a. Atlanta, with Johan Hedberg and Andre Pavoelectric. The defense, Toby Enstrom at 24. That's very good at that point. Pavel Kabina, Ron Hainsey, Johnny Oduya, Zach Bogosian, the legend, Christoph Schubert. You have one Mark Popovich and Boris Volobik, who was once touted to be the next Zdeno Chara. Why? Because he was tall. That's it. Future Bruin, by the way. Right wing side, Maxim Afinoganov, Sabres legend. Got Nick Bergfors, who of course came back in the Kovalchuk trade. Colby Armstrong, Evgeny Artukin, and Chris Thorburn. Damn. Left wing side, Slava Kozlov, 18-year-old Evander Kane. Now look, Evander Kane, he's fucking annoying, right? He's fucking annoying. I feel like people can say that, right? People have known he's been annoying for a long time, even well before, like, gambling issues or political opinions. Like, people knew he was annoying as fuck when, way back when Dustin Byfuglien threw his tracksuit in the shower, right? But I will always love Evander Kane because he did knock Matt Cook the fuck out. Like, arguably the greatest one-punch knockout of all time. If you have not looked up Evander Kane and Matt Cook from April of 2010. And I can't play all of it at the moment because eventually if I put this stuff up on YouTube, I'll get bopped to oblivion. But right here. Oh, hold on. Bop! The amount of times I have watched this highlight of Evander Kane just clocking Matt Cook. My goodness. I can't tell you how many times I have watched that clip. You also have Clark MacArthur and Eric Bolton. And then at center, Nick Antropov, Rich Peverly, future Bruin, Todd White, Brian Little, Marty Reisner, and Jim Slater. There you have it. that's what the NHL looks like. And to be honest, I mean, most of the ratings, given, again, Snipe used like a chat GBT formula, pretty good. I can't find much to disagree with. Much to the chagrin of some people, I do still want to look through the AHL and stuff like that, so we're still going to be here for a little bit. But yeah, like just basic viewpoint of like what the NHL looks like, all the created teams, stuff like that. Like it is looking pretty damn good. So again, if you're on the Xbox side of things, I will reiterate this now, and I'll continue to reiterate it. If you're on the Xbox side of things, Snipe and Scores 2009-2010 roster. Download it. Do it now.